All right, acceleration. Welcome back to Born Again Motoring. Today you join me in my 2024 Honda Civic Type R that I bought brand new. Been meaning to do a video on it since I picked it up. I've been occupied with some other things, but here it is in all of its glory. So let's take it for a spin. I love the little greeting, very race inspired. It makes it feel like you're in something special, not just a regular Honda Civic. And it fires right up. Okay. So first thing you'll notice here is that I have the individual settings set up, but I do have the plus R gauge cluster, which is one of my absolute favorite features of this car. Absolute favorite features. I love it. I think Honda did such a good job in designing this gauge cluster, and I'm a big fan of gauges. I give this definitely a 10 out of 10 as far as gauges go. Of course, because it is reminiscent of the S2000, but it does have its roots from Formula One. So, yeah, Honda did such a good job there, and it is customizable. One thing you'll notice if you switch between the different gauge modes, or I'm sorry, the driver settings, is that you have changes between all of them. So let me just set this here. We'll just put something generic. Phone. Okay, so this is the comfort gauge, not as aggressive. It's, you know, designed to just be kind of easy on the eyes. I'll do a video on what each of these different modes do and how it really changes the car. I'm just going to give like a quick walkthrough of what they look like. Now, one cool thing is if you put on cruise control, it will give you the center car, which is an exact replica of your car. So mine's white. This is actually a Type R because it has the spoiler. It's not just a generic Honda Civic. When you hit the brakes, you see the brake lights light up, or if you turn on the turn signal, that lights up. So if I ever drive in comfort mode, I actually use this view, which is rare. I don't normally drive in comfort. Now, if you kick it up into sport mode, it'll do the same thing. The red line gets thicker, gauges become red to kind of give you that aggressive flare. One thing I do like is that the needle is yellow because that's a callback to the EK, the old Type Rs with the yellow needle. Yeah, so they could have done a better job to make it look more like the old EK. I don't know why Honda doesn't, or most manufacturers don't put more effort into the digital displays, because since it's digital, you have so much capability to adjust your display. Now, you should be able to, I should say. The cool thing, though, is, again, you have this customization that you can do between the right side and the left side. Right here, you can see the PSI. This is cool because this is the throttle and the brake. But yeah, you can change these out. You have the G meter. It's all good, fun stuff. It's telling me I'm not wearing my seatbelt. Left side will display your music or whatever you have. But if I kick it into an individual, I have it set up like the plus R gauge. You don't get that cool car display on this one. It'll just, because this is not meant for the comfort and convenience. It'll just let you know if you do have cruise control set or the lane keep assist. But I normally, when I'm in this mode, I have it set because I can look at the different temperatures and the stats of the car. Again, that aggressive performance feel. But yeah, plus R mode, if I press that, see, it'll look the exact same because I'm utilizing the plus R gauge. I normally drive an individual. The difference between individual and plus R, I actually have everything most aggressive except for the suspension. I have that set on comfort because, as everybody knows, the suspension in plus R is pretty stiff. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it is still rather stiff for a daily drive. So yeah, I prefer not to get beat up. So yeah, this is kind of how I have it set up currently. You'll see the Honda Log R, which is a cool feature. My son really likes it when he sits back there. If you notice, I have a red seat for my son, and I got him a little fake shifter. Let me show you real quick for you dads out there that might be interested in keeping your kids occupied. I might as well sit back here too and sit behind myself. So spacious back seat. I'm sitting behind myself. I am 6 feet tall. And look, I got this fake shifter for my son. So when he sits back here in his red seat that mimics my red seat, he's sitting here shifting gears and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. So yeah, very spacious back seat. I mean, you can watch all sorts of reviews on the Type R. This is nothing new. Just figured I'd show you since we're here. One of the big complaints everybody talks about is that these seats are not like the front seats. Oh well, there is a lot of corner cutting measures that are done when your car is focused on performance, and this car does perform and it does everything so well. So I don't really knock Honda for that. But yeah, red seats, red carpet back here. It's a great place to be, and yeah, I don't have any complaints personally. I could sit back here on a long trip if I had to. I'm not going to go in the trunk, but the trunk space is huge. Again, there's all sorts of reviews on the Type R, but I want to kind of drive and give you some of my thoughts. All right. Back in the cockpit, and as everybody says, these seats are absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely. One of the greatest joys of this car is the positioning, the driver engagements. Like from a driver's perspective, Honda has it nailed. I am sitting in the seat in a perfect position, and I feel like I can tackle anything. So the seating position, the steering feel is superb. And then your shift feel is superb. So that's one thing that makes this car so good, is that Honda has dialed in exactly where you as the driver are sitting and engaging. They've dialed it in to where you just feel like you can handle the road and there's no issue. You're hunkered down kind of low for as big as this car is. And it just feels natural. It feels natural. I guess that's the best way I can put it. But you know you're in something special because in the Type R, every Type R has its own badge with its build. And this interior is just great. So let's kind of set on out here. And so if you've been following the channel, you'll know that I drove a Stage 1, my buddy's Stage 1 Type R, and it was great. It was a Cobb Stage 1, had a downpipe exhaust intake. He was running a 91 octane tune, which here in Texas we get 93. He just wanted to be conservative, which I don't hate him for that. I think it's great to want to preserve the car, but here we go. Okay, so since I just got it on a little bit of power as I merge onto this freeway, power delivery is smooth. What Honda was going for with this car and its power delivery is a very linear, it's like they were trying to make it feel like this is a naturally aspirated car. They're trying to hide the fact that this is a turbo. It's a turbo VTEC engine, the K20C1, and it is powerful. It's not like Corvette Z06 powerful. It is powerful, and it's very linear all the way up to redline. And one of the first things people comment on always is the sound, the artificial sound and just the general sound, and that's just how it is these days. We're not going to be able to get around that anymore. If you want a car, an engine like a, you know, that makes decent sound, you have to go dip into the older cars like the S2000, like the EK Honda. Like, you're going to have to go back in time and pick up one of those if you want something like that. It's just the times that we're in now with all the safety and sound policies. There's nothing we can really do about it. Do I prefer this over the old cars' sounds? No, I don't. I miss my S2000 sound. I miss all the cars previously that I've had their sound. But you know, I'm just used to it. It's what we got to do, and there's ways to enhance the sound of this car. This is just what Honda has given us from the factory, so we always have to remember that. So yeah, sound is the one thing that people comment on quite frequently, and there's just, again, there's no way around that. But the power is smooth. It's not the fastest car in the world, but it's not designed to be that way. This is designed to be a track capable car that you can drive every day, and it does that very well. I think it does it better than almost anything. There's the Integra Type S, but this car is the hardcore version of that. I prefer this car over the Integra Type S because of that, because this has the hardcore nature. This has that race heritage. The Integra Type S is meant more for daily comforts, and you know, it shows in its dampening. And if you want to get the dampening module and plug it into this, you can do that. But this is still more hardcore, because going back to what I was saying earlier about the seats and the feel, the Integra Type S does not have that same level of engagement that this car has. There's an STI. Hello. I had a 2015 like that. But yeah, the Integra Type S just, it's great, and it's very attractive and a little bit quicker stock for stock, but it does not have the hardcore nature that this car has, which is interesting because the Integra Type S sounds better stock for stock, but that's because it's built in America, whereas this is built in Japan and they have different sound regulations now than we do. So, but this does everything so good. This is one of the few cars that I actually give a 10 out of 10 to. I think it's that good. I give this car a 10 out of 10. Why? Because I think it's perfect. Does it have things that I wish were better? Yes. But this is as good as it really gets. Because if it's not this car, what car is it? What car really gets a 10 out of 10? This car is a great daily. This car can perform. This car is reliable. Yes, do some people struggle with overheating issues on the track? Maybe they do. Some do, some don't. But I think overall, this car is reliable. The K20C1 is a proven platform. People are making high horsepower reliably. So it has space, trunk space. You can have children and, you know, sit back. You can put two child seats in the back, and they can ride comfortably. No, there's no USB ports back there. But again, these are little nitpicky things that I don't think take away from what this car really is. It has high appeal to people that know what it is. When people see a Type R, they are, and they're car people, they know exactly what they're looking at, and they want to talk to you about it. I get more attention in this than I do my C8. What it seems like in the C8, non-car people tend to want to know and talk about that car, but car people, they don't care about the C8 that much. We can do a video on that, but they the car people want to talk about the Type R if they're truly drivers and they know this car's capabilities, because it does perform that well. The aero is all functional on this car. The aero is so strong in this car stock that, like, if you're on a bumpy freeway and like you get lifted up a little bit, it almost hurts because you're hunkered, you're pulled down. My wife commented on that. She can feel it. She can feel the downforce on this car. And then let's talk about the elephant in the room that enthusiasts always seem to comment on. The whole, but it's front wheel drive. Yeah, it is front wheel drive. I used to be a rear wheel drive purist. Most cars I have owned have been rear wheel drive, some all wheel drive. This is my second front wheel drive performance car that I've owned. My 2010 Mazda Speed 3 was the first, and that's one of my least favorite cars that I've owned, believe it or not. I know it's not that it's necessarily a bad car, it's just it wasn't for me at that time, and we can talk about that. I can do a video. But yes, this car's front wheel drive, like we know, and that's always what the Type R has been, the Civic Type R anyway. I wouldn't want it any other way. Why would you want to change what Honda has done so well? Because this is front wheel drive, that makes it an underdog, and who doesn't love a good underdog story? The story of Jesus Christ, death, burial, and resurrection, of course, is the greatest underdog story, and it's true. But this is an underdog because it's front wheel drive and it competes and beats above its weight class. It punches above its weight class, and that's great. And if you actually drive this car, you would know that that's not a shortcoming of it. It doesn't have to be all-wheel drive. If you live in a place where it snows heavily and you have conditions, sure, go for the WRX, go for something that's all-wheel drive because you need it. But if that's not your problem, this car, there's very few things on the road that drive like this car. Believe me, I have owned many cars. I'll put them up on the screen so you can see what I've owned. I'm not just talking because this is a new car that I have and I enjoy this new car. It drives that well. And so it's not the fact that it's front wheel drive shouldn't be what deters you from it. I would say get behind the wheel and drive one. And the fact that it is front wheel drive and it beats cars that are rear wheel drive and driving feel and sometimes in just overall performance, what are these rear wheel drive cars doing or all wheel drive cars doing that they can't perform at this level? The Honda Civic Type R is that good, and Honda has really knocked it out of the park with this car. It's something special. You know that from the moment you sit down in it and the first time you get to pull the gear lever, you know that, hey, there's a special ethos about this. It's that Honda racing heritage. So let me get off the front wheel drive kick for now. I hope, those that are on the fence of it about this car because of that, you get a chance to drive it. Let's talk about the cost and the price of one of these. So I remember when these first came out, people were paying, $80K because of markups. I don't think this is an $80,000 car. It is very fun, has a special spirit, but it is not an $80,000 car. I don't think I would, here's my advice. You can get this for MSRP or under. I got mine for under MSRP, brand new. I did a video on it. And all right, acceleration. And handling these turns like nothing. Yep, handling like nothing. So yeah, I got mine for under MSRP. And I wouldn't pay over MSRP for one of these. I paid at basically $42,000 because one was sitting at the dealership, and I was patient. I called around and I did my homework. Be patient. Don't just rush into one. Don't let these dealerships get one over on you and make you feel like you're missing out because you're not buying a Civic Type R. Don't fall for that. There's no need. Take your time. Don't rush into a financial decision that will have you completely upside down. Yes, this car will hold its value. The Type Rs always do. They're special. You know, with the tariff situation going on, who knows how that's going to go. Maybe you might make an extra buck if you do pay a little above MSRP. Who knows? That's uncertain. But my advice to you is be patient. Call around. There's a Type R Finder tool. You can use Auto Trader. Don't pay over MSRP. Don't let these dealerships rip us off anymore. They're greedy, and you know, I understand that everybody's got to eat, but there's a difference between that and just ripping off your consumers, and I don't support that. So yeah, you can get them for under MSRP, and at that point, or even at MSRP, it's worth it, even if it's more expensive than the previous generation. So the summary of this car, the Honda Civic Type R, is this. It is a performance car that does everything so well. It can haul your family, it can haul your groceries, it can perform on the track. It's reliable, it gets good gas mileage, though the tank is small. It has a 12-gallon tank, and you'll probably be filling up at 9 gallons or so, but you can average 28 plus miles per gallon. So yeah, good gas mileage. You can take it on a long trip. The styling is great. I know a lot of people at first weren't sure because it was muted, but I think it looks absolutely wonderful. It's more mature, even with the big wing in the back. Speaking of which, one of my favorite things about this car is the fact that the wing is designed to not show in the rearview mirror. Everything is so well thought out in this car, and that's my summary. It's built in Japan. The Japanese, they have a special characteristic about them culturally that enables them to really focus and dial things in, and this Honda Civic shows that. It shows their heritage. So if you are a driver, I recommend you at least get the chance, you find the opportunity to get behind the wheel of one of these. If it's not for ownership, just drive it. You'll see, even if you're against front wheel drive cars, it doesn't matter. This car is so good. You won't regret it. I have my C8 Corvette, and I prefer driving this. Like, I look forward to driving this. I really like that car too, but this one puts a smile on my face. A lot of it is because it is manual. The best in the business, mind you, but this is the one I want to be behind the wheel of, and it's 4 doors, which is interesting. This is a 4-door race car. But with that, I will leave you. Just wanted to do a quick video. I've been posting, you know, different things. I did my CX-90 video, which not a lot of people are interested in those cars, but I had to do it. I've been putting a lot more sim content out, at least using it as a background. So yeah, more of that to come. I got to do my next video on, as I go through the list of cars that I own. The RX-8 will be next. I already did the RX-7, so check that one out. But I will see you in the next one. God bless you and your families. I am out.